Paige VanZant,
PVZ,
has moved to Portland, Oregon. She's from Newburgh.
She is my new teammate.
And she is your new teammate. How did that happen? I remember you talking about it several months ago. You were like, "Hey, Paige VanZant's gonna move to Portland." I was like, "Why would Paige VanZant move to Portland?" And I still want to know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just have her come into the studio next week and ask her straight up. But I'll tell you this as far as her background, and I haven't asked her that question. Hey, why'd you make the move to Portland? But I can just tell you from her background, she was born in McMinnville. She went to McMinnville High School even. And I think it was after her freshman year. She got bullied. Paige got bullied, and she made this very public when she had her experience on Dancing with the Stars. And, she was a cute young girl, and she had some skills and made the cheerleading team. She made varsity as a freshman, and some of the older girls just had a real resentment towards that. And she moved. Her family moved to Reno. So as far as why did she come back specifically or make that decision, I don't know. But her family is here, and she is from Oregon. So I don't know that it was that left field of a decision. But as far as training goes, she's now at Gracie Baja or Fabiana Scherner. And I don't know if that's where she's going to do all her training camps or she's still going to run out to Alpha Male. And I know she even had something going in Reno. She was at a CrossFit gym of all things, but she loved it. She had a good relationship there. And so I don't know for sure if she plans to do everything here, but I think she does. She's also teamed up with Chris Cyborg, so I'm expecting Cyborg to come out to Portland and them to help each other train. So some exciting things, but as far as why or what prompted her to move back, I don't know. I would imagine because her family's here.
Now, I tell you, a really, really, really pretty girl coming into a gym of all guys is kind of like bringing in the camera crew. You know how when the camera crew comes in, everybody ups their game, everybody has a little bit more energy. I'm going to say, I mean, you can say all of the things in the world. Paige VanZant is, this great fighter and great kickboxer, this, that, and the other. Paige VanZant's beautiful, and she's going into a gym full of dudes. That is an interesting dynamic.
I suppose. I mean, but it's no different than anything else she's ever done. I mean, every atmosphere she's even coming into mixed martial arts, is male dominated. Absolutely. The Alpha Male gym, I can't think of a female fighter they have aside from her. I've seen training footage. I've never seen her sparring with a girl. I've seen her going with Benavides. I've seen her in there with TJ, just in her training footage. So I think that's pretty normal. And, we aren't without females at our gym. We do have a couple, but I get your point. They're very rare, but the sport in general is very light on females. It's a brand new thing. So I don't fully even know what your point is other than, Paige VanZant is a big deal. And I know people at the gym were very excited that she would be in. And you're right. Anytime there's a UFC fighter, especially a high caliber that's practicing, there's more people in the room. That is true.
I just think that to not acknowledge that a beautiful woman going into an all-male gym is going to... It is going to be very interesting the way people act. You got to understand that half the guys there have wives or girlfriends, and there ain't no way on earth that a wife or a girlfriend is going to be happy that this beautiful young lady is coming into the gym to start training with her husband or her boyfriend.
Here, look, I got to cut you off right there. I don't fully know where you're going with this, but I don't love the vibe of it. She is a new teammate at the gym. People will be excited to see her, and that's the end of it. If you want to stick your foot all the way in your mouth, do it now, but get it over with.
I don't understand what am I sticking my foot in my mouth for? It's true. It's a beautiful woman going into a gym full of guys.
Okay.
That is different. We never dealt with that in wrestling, ever. Not one time. Not one time.
So then what are you saying about the other girls in the gym or the girls back in your wrestling days, that they weren't beautiful?
There's only one girl in that gym.
Okay, and are you declaring her now as unbeautiful? I mean, what is it you're saying with it? How do you not see your foot going right into your mouth?
All right, well, under further review, I think that I do see said foot kind of going in the mouth.
My pet idiot who answers to the name of Joel. All right, listen, you know what? Let's back up. So I get up to go to the airport. We came out to Las Vegas to do a show with Richard and Frank Mir, teamed up with Phone Booth Fighting.
You called me your pet idiot.
Who answers to the name Joel? Oh, there you are. So we get up, we go to the airport.
Like you couldn't have a pet, like an idiot. you couldn't make an idiot a pet.
I get to the airport, I go to the kiosk, I insert my credit card, and the kiosk tells me that I am 659 hours early for check-in. Now, never in my life has that happened. I did not even know kiosks did such a thing and kept math. 659 hours. Now, we're supposed to be flying out on February 28th. Instead, Joel got us a return ticket for March 28th. So we show up a month early, and we have no way to get home.
Okay, never in a million years would I have messed that up. Now, what has happened in this life, and I don't know when it is when somewhere Mr. Sonnen got really, 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 really cool, and he became a diva. And I used to be cool at one time in my life. Now I was a real idiot then. I mean, I look back on what an idiot I was.
No, you.
But I was really, really cool, kind of like you. So, A, I didn't book the tickets, okay? And B, I forwarded them to you. So, I will acknowledge being your pet idiot, but you must also acknowledge being my pet idiot.
No, see, it's actually that argument is why you got labeled an idiot as opposed to just an error. So you say you didn't book the ticket. Well, a lot of people don't book their tickets. Some people go to travel agents. Some people call the airlines themselves. So how you're disregarding that bit of responsibility and disassociating yourself with it is still beyond me. But more importantly is when you make the argument that you were somehow relieved of this duty because you forwarded me the ticket. It's like, hey, man, you're not my 10-year-old son, and I'm your dad, and this is schoolwork, and I got to check it before you turn it into the teacher. I'm not going to look at that stuff. You sending me the ticket, I'm going to look at when do I have to be on the plane to fly to Vegas, which I did do, went to the airport, boarded the flight, made it to Vegas. I'm then, at the time that I need to leave, going to look at the ticket and see what time the airplane leaves. The bottom line is you were the ticket guy, and we are now stuck in Las Vegas.
We're up.
What say you?
You know what? I'll accept full responsibility for it.
All right, let's just do the show.
Never looked at the tickets. Should have looked at the tickets, but in fairness, out of the 500 times or 1,000 times I've flown in my life,
you do the same way I just described.
It was right. It was right.
Right. You look at the ticket
every single time.
Let's talk over each other.
Yeah, let's talk over each other. So what you forgot to mention is the reason we came out to Vegas is we did a show.
You think I forgot to mention this? I didn't forget to mention this. I haven't had time to mention this. In fact, I'll set this up. So we come out to Vegas to do a show. We're going to go over to the Stratosphere with Frank and Richard and you and I. We're going to team up and do a show at the LA Comedy Club. Great setup. I mean, what a great venue. I'd only been there one time. It was to see Adam Hunter. MMA Roasted's Adam Hunter. Oh, my goodness. He was so funny. I still laugh at things that he said that night. Great show. Great venue. We get in there. Great turnout. We even had media. John Morgan, the MMA junkie, came over, documented it all for us.
What a great guy.
Morgan's cool, man.
Really, watch this sport grow. I tell people from the back of a car dealership. And a lot of people that started in media were just idiots. And so, you know how the first time you meet somebody, you get that first impression. And so I've always thought the MMA media were all idiots because of that. And
I've always hated MMA media.
That guy flipped my switch. I was like, man, I go hang out with that guy. I mean, he was really on point. He was cool.
His backstory is pretty interesting too. Here, bring us back to the show. Somehow you've distracted me here with the John Morgan talk. But his backstory is interesting. I used to know it full well, but I'll get you about 90% there. But he was working somewhere, knew some HTML and could do a little computer language, and started that. Was able to quit his own job. Now employs a lot of people and just does what he loves, which is travel around, watch the fights, and cover them. But he is one of the guys. And Errol Hawani, in fairness, Luke Thomas, in fairness, there is a handful of guys, but that they actually take the job seriously. They take the time to do it right, to read the news before they report it, to edit, to be professional, to get quotes. There are some guys that do it right, and he's one of them. So at any rate, he comes out to the show, and we didn't really have any structure to the show. It was kind of a Seinfeld approach in that, hey, this is going to be a show about nothing, but let's just see what happens. Let's just go out there like we do a podcast. Today's a great example, Joel. You didn't know I was going to start this show by calling you my pet idiot and laying to you about the plane ticket. I mean, maybe you knew that was coming, but the point is, you and I never discussed that ahead of time. We kind of just shoot and we record.
Well, I mean, I've got feelings. I'm a human being.
But